I have opened a blank Adobe Illustrator file and I'm going to use it to create something that I can then cut on my laser cutter. So first I need to set it up so that it's ready for my cutter. I'm going to choose File, New, and on here I'm going to choose Print, and I'm going to go ahead and make a template called laser cutter that I can use in the future. I will set it to millimeters, and I know that my laser cutter is 24 by 12, which will be 600 by 300 millimeters. And always make sure that this color mode is changed to RGB, because the red and blue are what the laser cutter will read in order to make its engravings and cuts. I will click Create, and now I'm going to have a page that is the size of the board that my laser cutter can take. I am sort of prefer working with the grid on, so I'm going to choose View here and click Show Grid, and then I can keep everything a little more organized. So when I'm looking up here, I have on the left a rectangle tool. I'm thinking about making a sign, so I'm going to choose that rectangle tool and use my grid to click and make my rectangle. And I need to set it so that it knows to cut out this rectangle, which means that the line has to be red. Red lines get cut. Here on my stroke, I'm going to hold down Shift and click so that I get my RGB scale. To make it red, I'm going to move the R all the way to 255, and green and blue both have to be at 0. Now that's going to be a red line. I can hold down Shift here to make sure that I have no fill, since that's going to be a sign. Here at the stroke size, I will put it at 0.001, and that has to be true for any of the stroke sizes so that it is able to be cut out or engraved, recognized by the laser cutter in that way. So now I am going to choose my selection tool and click off, and I see that this line has become red. I know that's going to be cut out later. Now I want to add some text inside of it. So I choose my text tool, and I'm going to help make an art sign. So I type the word art, and just like in any other program, I have my ability over here to change my font into something I like, change the size of it. I'm going to try to make something pretty large to take up most of my sign. And over here again, the stroke has to be 0.001. And I want this to actually be filled in, not the no fill that we just chose. So I don't want it all the way black. I'm going to, again, click on Shift while I click down on this arrow, and I can make these anywhere between 0 and 255, each of them. And it's kind of, you'll learn what your laser cutter looks good on. I'm going to go ahead and change these to 75 each. I made another sign recently. I know that looked pretty good. So I have 75 each. I can hold down Shift again here on my stroke, and I don't want to cut out the letters, but I might want to do an engraved outline. So instead of having red up, I'm going to put that red to 0 and put blue to 255, which means that there's going to be an outline around it. I can choose my select tool and see that it's gray on the inside with blue on the outside. I have this selected, hold down Shift and select my rectangle, and I can go ahead and center it. I'm going to just use my keys on my keyboard to scroll this down. Now I don't want that centered because I'm going to add a couple of other things. So I am thinking that I want to add a cool design, and when I click on here, I can choose my star tool. I can make a neat star and change that. So again, there's a blue outline, which I can leave. I might want to make this lighter. I might want to make this darker. I think I want to do, oh, that's what happened when I didn't hit Shift. If I didn't hit Shift, it just goes like that. So I want to hold down Shift, and I'm going to make this even lighter. I'm going to go 50 for all of these. Oh, nope, just kidding. That made it even darker. So if I want to make it lighter, I'm thinking maybe I go 100 for each of them. Ooh, lesson learned on the fly. Cool. So now I have some different things that it will cut out and do the engraving around. And I can continue adding a few things. Once I'm ready, I can save this as an SVG file, or just save it as an AI file and bring it up onto the computer that I'm going to use that's connected to the laser cutter so I can adjust my print settings there.